Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's episode of the Passion to Profits podcast. Now, today's podcast episode, I want to cover a topic that will probably come up in the beginning on your journey, and that is, why should anyone pay attention to you? Why should anyone watch you in a video today? Why should anyone listen to your podcast episode? Why should anyone read your ebook? Why should anyone give you money for something that you would create? Now, unless you're fully confident, have total belief in yourself, that's never going to come on your radar. But I think for a lot of us, you are going to have those doubts. You're going to question yourself. You're going to say to yourself, well, who do I think I am to be doing these things? I shouldn't be making videos. I'm not good enough to have a podcast. I'm not good enough to write ebooks, and you may drop out. So what I want you to do is I want you to listen to this podcast episode because I want hopefully to build some self-belief in yourself and to maybe see you as something valuable and something that we should pay attention to. So the first thing I would say to you is to remember that you are different. Depending on where you're born, depending on your sex, depending on your upbringing, depending on all the different factors that have made you can be guaranteed that you are nothing like me at all. And because we're all different, we're going to come at topics differently. And maybe you might have some doubts in your head right now because you are going to go into a niche or a business that there are other people there already. And you're saying to yourself, well, I'm last to the party. It's all been done before. So if I show up now and I start doing videos on TikTok, or I start doing something on YouTube, or I start putting podcast episodes on Spotify, well, people are just going to see me as a Johnny-come-lately and not going to pay attention to me. But they will. And the reason those people will pay attention to you is because you are you. Your journey to where you are right now is different than anyone else's. And you need to lean into that. You need to lean into you being unique from everyone else. And the more you put this uniqueness of you in your business, it's going to make your business different than everyone else's because it's your business. Whatever you record in a video today, even if you and I talked about the same topics, will be different. Firstly, because you'll be in the video, your appearance will be different, you'll probably talk differently, and the ideas that you'll probably come up with will be different than me. So even though you and I could be talking about the same topic, your videos are not going to be like my videos because you are going to come at it from a different direction. And that was something that I had to get into my head early on in my career online and in my fiction writing, was thinking, well, people are writing fiction books in the Kindle store. Who the hell do I think I am to just appear and say, hey, buy my fiction book? I just thought, well, I shouldn't be here. And I doubted myself because I'd never written fiction before. And you're probably going to be that way as well too, because you probably have never recorded videos before. You've probably never done podcast episodes, written ebooks, created digital products, or tried to build a following. So you feel that, this is for something, those other people. It's not for us. There's a kind of a line between us and them. They can do all those things, but we can't. And I'm here to tell you that you can. You can make the videos, you can have a podcast, you can create digital products, you can build a following on social media. But the way you can do that is by being you. And as I said, you are going to come at the problems that your market has, the pain points that they have. Your solutions are going to be different because you're going to look at those problems from a different perspective. So whatever solutions you come up with, whatever content you come up with will be different because of who you are. So what I'd say to you is to don't try and be like someone else. Don't try and be a poor copy of someone else, because that's the way you're going to come across. You're going to come across in your content as a poor Xeroxed version of someone else. But there is one person that you can be 100% unique being and be 100% perfect, and that's you. So by being you in whatever you do right now means that your content is going to be unique. And we're going to see it different than everybody else's because it's your content, your words, your ideas, your solutions to the problems. So don't try and be someone else, because that's the worst thing you can do. But unfortunately, because we have no confidence in ourselves, we say, well, I want to be like them. I want to talk like them. I want to maybe dress like them. I want to do the topics that they do, write the same ebooks as they do, and just clone them. And basically, you're just going to be a poor version of someone else. So do you not think it would make better sense to be a better version of you instead of a poor version of someone else? So that's the first thing I'd say to you is be more you in your business, and that will help you feel more confident about yourself, because it's you that you're putting across on camera, not another version of someone else. Another thing I'd say to you as well too is that in the beginning of your career, you are probably going to have the odd person that you're going to help out. And what you should be doing is, as you're helping people out, maybe for free in the beginning until you make a name for yourself, what you should do is you should start gathering testimonials, reviews, and nice things that people say about you. Now, this is not only just for the public, but it's for you as well too. Because there will be days when you just wake up in the morning, you just feel no confidence in yourself, and you say to yourself, well, why should anyone pay attention to me? I'm no big deal. So what I'd recommend you do is you maybe get a wee notepad and have it like as a wee positivity notepad, where if people say something good about you, write it down. If you get a positive review, write it down. If someone gives you a great testimonial, write it down. And then what you should do is you should share those testimonials on your website, or you should share your testimonials in your content. You could say something like, by the other day, I had written an ebook, and this lady in a particular part of America bought the ebook, and she read my ebook, and this is the result that she got from it. So by you giving us, third-party reviews, testimonials about what other people think about you, well, then we're going to see you differently. When I wrote my first fiction book, I, again, didn't think I was no big of a deal. I just saw myself as another fiction writer. And what I realized one day was that I got a review on one of my books, and that was from a young girl who had read my book, loved my book, and then she decided that she wanted to be a writer because of what I did. Now that really, that blew me away. That was worth far more than any money that was sent to me, was someone saying that I made such a difference in their life that they wanted to become a writer because of me. Now, you can be guaranteed I have bragged about that loads of times. And I know the people who watch my videos or listen to my podcast or read my content probably look at me in a different way because of that third party comment. So even though you don't think you might have a lot going for you right now, just start collecting small wee comments, small positive things. And as you start building your journey, as more people start watching your content and maybe leaving you positive comments below your content or your blog post, or just reaching out to you through email or through social media and saying, something, you made a big difference in my life. I love that video you made the other day. It was just what I needed to hear. Again, write them down in your own notebook for yourself, but also brag about them as well too, because that'll make people see you in a different light, and they'll start to believe in you. That yes, there should be a reason why I should be paying attention to this person, because they wrote that ebook that helped that lady in America. Or they wrote that Kindle book that, got this young girl to start writing. So there must be something good about them. So they'll hang around with that. Again, some of us don't like bragging about our achievements. But it's not bragging. It's telling people what you are capable of doing for other people, so that they will follow you, that you can help them out as well too. So remember that. Gather up as much as those positive comments as you can, both for yourself and for your audience. Another thing I'd say to you as well too is sometimes when we just don't think we deserve to be here, it could be just due to a lack of knowledge. Again, going back to my fiction writing, when I started on my fiction writing, I didn't have all the knowledge on fiction writing. I read some books, but I still didn't think I knew enough to be a fiction writer. And when I showed up with my fiction book in the Amazon Kindle store, I had a lot of doubt, a lot of disbelief in myself, because I didn't think I deserved to be there. Now, one way I probably could have built a bit more confidence in myself was to probably do more studying on fiction writing, how to create better characters, how to write better stories, how to, make my books better. And then by having this extra knowledge in my head, it would give me more confidence in myself that what I was writing and recording was good, because I had the knowledge here. So it may be that right now maybe you're just lacking a little bit of knowledge, and maybe by watching more videos on YouTube or reading a few books, expanding your knowledge, it'll start to make you realize that, something, I'm just not a nobody. I'm not nobody who knows what they're doing. I have all this knowledge and experience in my head that I can share with my audience. So sometimes working on your knowledge will give you more confidence to do whatever it is you're looking to do. What I'd say to you as well too is to focus on the impact that you can have. Sometimes we just look at ourselves as just us. Nothing special about ourselves, but just us. And to explain it, maybe to change your perspective or see what you do in a different way, I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you about the time I passed my driving test. Now, I'd failed my driving test before, but I got it on the second attempt. And now I was late to get to driving. I was probably maybe 26, maybe 27 before I had my full driver's license. And before that, I had 2 young kids. And when you can't drive, of course, everything is, public transport. And the kids we had at the time were small, they were toddlers. So we were constantly putting them into buggies, taking them out of buggies, putting them on buses, and maybe folding dead buggies and putting them into the back of taxis. And just everything was a chore just to take the 2 kids around the town. And I remember as the driving instructor, gave me a wave off as he congratulated me on passing my test and drove off. And I remember thinking that, something, he probably just sees himself as a driving instructor. But what he allowed me to do in getting a license transformed my life. It meant I didn't need to rely on public transport anymore. There was going to be no more days of folding down buggies, putting them in the back of taxis, struggling with kids and bags and getting them onto a bus, and then hoping that maybe the bus did show up and that, I had a way home. And now that I had a driver's license, I had a car and I could go anywhere I wanted to. And I remember thinking, this driving instructor probably sees me, well, he passed his test. That's another student that passed. But what I didn't realize was the huge difference he made in my life, how much freedom I had, how much of a difference he made in my life and my family's life by now having this driver's license. And I want you to think about what you do, because sometimes we look at what we do as no big a deal. But to other people on the other side, you could totally transform their lives. Maybe you know how to do videos and you know the right setup, you know the right camera, you know the right microphone, and to you that's just, it's nothing. You've probably forgotten more stuff than you know right now. But if someone came to you today and said to you, well, something, I've heard all this talk about, people making money on TikTok and YouTube and all these different things, and, I'd love to be able to set up a camera. I'd love to know how to do it. And you, thinking you've only got a small bit of knowledge, go to that person, you show them how to set up the camera, you show them how to set up the microphone, you show them how to be confident on camera and how to record a video, and then you just go off on your own way. And basically you just probably said to yourself, well, I just spent an hour or so showing that person what they needed to do. But in that person's life, you could have made a huge difference. All of a sudden now they're recording content and that content is going viral, they're building an audience, they're making an income, and you've made a huge difference in their life just by simply showing them a small thing like how to record videos. So you never know the impact you're making in someone's life with what you do. So remember that. It's very, very easy for us to forget that the thing we do is just the thing we do, and we don't see what's happening on the other side. Again, going back to that young girl, I didn't realize when I wrote that fiction book that I was going to make somebody want to become a fiction writer. So the impact I made in her life was huge. But again, I just looked at what I was doing as just simply writing fiction books. So you never know the impact that you're going to make. And I'm sure if you focus on that as well too, that's going to make you realize that you're just not like everybody else, because you are going to affect people differently. Somebody could watch someone else's content and have no impact on them at all. You could show up today with a video, say something in a video, and suddenly I go, wow, I never thought of that. And then that little mindset tweak suddenly sends my life off in a different direction. And you've made a huge difference in my life, just from something simple you said in a video. So never just disregard the things that we say, the things we do as just the things we do. Because you don't know what's happening on the other side of the camera, at the other side of the headphones. You could be making a huge difference in someone's life. And lastly, I would say to you as well too, I think a lot of us sometimes don't have confidence in ourselves is because we're too busy looking everywhere else. We're looking at the expert over here. We're looking at the expert over there. We're looking at this one that has the huge social media following. The person over here who's making all the money with the ebooks. This one, that one. And when we're looking at all these experts and so-called experts, it's very easy just to look back at ourselves and, they are way up in all these pedestals and we are way down here. And it's very, very easy just to be down on yourself from where you are compared to those people. But what you need to realize that some of those people have been going for years. Some of these people have been, here a long time than you have. Some of these people have maybe talents and abilities that got them there maybe a lot quicker than you have. So you can't really compare your journey with their journey. And if you can't compare your journey with their journey, well then what you need to do is you need to turn your eyes inward and you need to focus on your own running lane. You need to focus on becoming a better version of you. You need to focus on your skills and talents, your ideas, your methods, your knowledge, and then bring that to us. And by focusing your knowledge down onto your lane and focusing on what you can give us, it's going to make it a lot easier. Because as I said, we just kind of look out everywhere else. We look at what everyone else is doing and we're kind of going to gob up, wow, I wish I was like them. Why can't I be like them? And why would anyone pay attention to little old me? But as I said at the start of this podcast episode, the reason we'll pay attention to you is because you're you. So, my advice, we will follow you. We will watch your content. We will read your books. But be yourself. Be the best version of you. Show us what you can do. And we love you for it. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.